The sea has turned against them. For generations, its cold, grey waters have been a gift, a larder that never empties. No, for the seventh day, it offers nothing but the bone-chilling wind and the mocking cry of gulls. The clan of Hominid huddles behind a break of black basalt, their hunger a gnawing beast within the cave of their bellies. This is a story from the deep past, more than 1,000,000 years ago. A crucial chapter in hominid history where the rules of survival are being violently rewritten. The children are listless, their usual energy stolen by starvation. The elders stare at the waves, their faces masks of stony patience that cannot quite hide the growing fear. Their lives are tethered to the great sea cows, the gentle, slow-moving giants of the kelp forests. These docile Pleistocene megafauna are mountains of blubber and meat, easy to corner in the shallow coves and finish with heavy, sharpened staves. It is a hunt of attrition and opportunity, a rhythm of nature they have understood for a lifetime. But the rhythm is broken, the coves are empty, the vast herds have vanished. A young male, Toro, points a trembling finger toward the churning water at the mouth of the bay. Something is floating there, a pale, obscene shape bobbing in the swell. It is a carcass, not just dead, but dismantled. Great sheets of blubber are torn away, and the water around it is stained a dirty pink. Turokay, the clan's master craftsman, the one whose mind sees the shape of a tool in unworked stone, pushes himself to his feet. His joints ache from the cold and the lack of food. He walks to the edge of the water, the others following at a distance. The stench of decay reaches them, a smell of failure. He sees the raking gouges in the hide, parallel lines of immense power. No rock or rival bull could do this. This was done by teeth. Then he sees them, further out, slicing the grey water. Are the black shins, not one, but 5. They move with a fluid, terrifying coordination, like a pack of wolves that has learned to breathe water. Walkers. They are not new to these waters, but their behavior is. Before, they were a rare sight, hunters of seals and the occasional dolphin. Now, they hunt the sea cows. They hunt their food, and they do it with an efficiency that is brutally intelligent. Terakay watches as 2 of the fins break off, herding a stray calf into the deeper channel where the others wait. It is a planned, calculated execution. This is not the random violence of nature. It is a strategic takeover of a territory. A hard choice is forming in the clan's collective mind, a choice they are not yet equipped to make. The primal fear that grips Terakay is not of the predators themselves, but of their intellect. He is staring at a rival sapiency, a mind that has also learned to dominate its environment. It is a turning point, a moment of profound evolutionary pressure. The sea is no longer their larder. It has become a battlefield, and they are losing. Desperation is a tool maker. In the cold days that follow, the clan watches the orcas feast. They are a brutally efficient family, a black and white dynasty that has claimed the bay. They leave behind only scraps and stained water, constant, insulting reminder of the clan's hunger. The old ways are dead. To follow the old paths is to walk toward extinction. This is a moment of intense selective pressure, a bottleneck in human evolution where a species must either adapt its behavior or vanish from the story of prehistory. The hard choice is no longer whether to act, but how. Terakay spends his days on the shoreline, his gaze fixed not on the orcas, but on the driftwood the tide deposits on the black sand. He watches how the great, waterlogged trees bob and turn in the surf, retaining their buoyancy. He sees not dead wood, but a bridge to the food. An idea, dangerous and unprecedented, takes shape behind his heavy brow. It is a concept that requires foresight, a leap of imagination from solid ground to the unstable, killing water. He gathers the strongest of the clan, not with words, but with a gesture. He points to the largest log, then to the water, then to the distant, floating carcass of a sea cow. He begins to work. This is where intelligence becomes a physical force, with heavy stone choppers. Part of a lithic technology passed down for 1,000 generations, he and the others begin to shape the wood. It is clumsy, powerless wood. The sound of stone striking wood echoes along the desolate coast. A new sound in this ancient landscape. They are not carving a boat. They are beating a platform into existence. The younger members drag more logs from the tree line while the women, their hands nimble and strong, weave tough seagrass and strips of hide into rope. This is a community mobilizing its collective strength. A network of minds and hands focused on a single, desperate purpose. This act of creation is a defining moment for these early humans. They lash 3 great logs together, then another 3. They are building rafts, crude and heavy, but buoyant. They are platforms for a new kind of hunt. At the same time, Terra addresses their weapons. Their heavy clubs and short spears are useless for this new battlefield. He selects the longest, straightest shafts of ash he can find. He and 2 others sit before the fire, using sharp flint flakes, the finer side of their ancient tools, to scrape the ends into long, sharp points. They then thrust the tips into the glowing embers of the fire, hardening the wood until it is almost as dense as stone. These are the wooden teeth of the clan, their answer to the predators in the bay. This is the dawn of a new form of primitive technology, born not of convenience, but of a direct challenge from a rival intelligence. When the 2 rafts are finished, they are pushed into the shallows. They float. They are ugly, unstable things, but they represent a monumental cognitive and cultural shift. The clan stands before them, the new harpoons in their hands. They look at their creations, then at the black fins that still patrol their stolen larder. The primal fear of the deep, cold water remains, a cold knot in their stomachs. But now, it is matched by the grim resolve of human ancestors who refuse to starve. The grey morning air is thick with salt spray and the metallic tang of fear. 6 of the clan's strongest push the 2 rafts into the churning surf. Among them is Terra. He is the maker, and he must be the one to prove his creation. His presence is a silent promise what my hands have made. My life will test. The sea is a haven, indifferent beast, and the rafts are fragile trespassers on its skin. This is the ultimate contest of intellect versus brute force, a pivotal, unrecorded event in the great evolution documentary of our species. They paddle with flattened pieces of driftwood, their movements clumsy but powerful. Their target is not a living sea cow, but a fresh kill, a massive bull the orcas have brought down and are now beginning to feed upon. The clan's strategy is a desperate gamble to act as scavengers on the apex predator's table, to steal meat from the very jaws of the sea wolves. As they approach, the black fins stop their circling. The lead orca, a huge bull with a scarred dorsal fin, surfaces, its sire black, intelligent marble fixed on the strange, floating logs and the upright figures they carry. There is a moment of stillness, a silent assessment between 2 forms of sapping sea. The clan paddles harder, their hearts hammering against their ribs. They reach the carcass. 2 men use their new harpoons to hook into the thick blubber, anchoring their raft to the floating mountain of meat. With flint knives, they begin the frantic, desperate work of butchering, hacking off huge slabs of blubber and muscle. This is not a hunt. It is a smash and grab raid in the deadliest territory on ancient Earth. But the orcas are not mere beasts. They are strategists. The pod splits. 3 of them swim directly at the rafts, their massive heads rising from the water in a clear display of intimidation. The other 2 dive deep. The water erupts. An orca surfaces directly beneath the second raft, its body lifting the logs and the 2 men on it clear out of the water. They are thrown into the freezing sea. The cold is stunning, paralytic shock. One man, panicking, tries to scramble back onto the overturned raft. The other disappears in a swirl of black and white. Terra, on the first raft, watches this unfold in a fraction of a second. He sees the young hunter being dragged under. In that instant, an act of pure altruism erases all other instinct. He does not paddle for shore. He does not protect the meat. He shouts a single, guttural command. and his raft mate begins paddling toward the chaos.
This raft
Terrakay
is
stands
more
on the
than a
prow of the
tool.
unstable raft,
It is a leap
harpoon
in
held
the
high,
story of
as the huge
human
bull orca surfaces again near the struggling man. Terrakay drives the fire-hardened spear down with the full force of his body. It is a blow of unimaginable desperation. The wooden point sinks deep into the orca's back. Just below the great fin, the beast convulses, a shriek of pain and fury echoing across the bay, and in its agony, it mashes its tail through against Terrakay's raft. The lashing breaks. The logs are torn apart. Terrakay is plunged into the red, churning water, and the last thing he sees is the cold, black eye of the predator he challenged, an eye that holds no malice, only a terrifying, calculated intelligence. The survivors will make it back to shore, dragging with them a single, life-saving slab of meat. They will have won the battle for today's food. But the cost is a wound from which the clan may never recover. Terrakay, the innovator, the keeper of the knowledge of raft building and fire hardening, is gone. His mind, and all the unshared secrets within it, now belongs to the cold, silent depths. This victory is a hollow, bitter thing, a perfect illustration of the brutal anthropology of survival sometimes. The price of living to see the next sunrise is the very knowledge needed to survive all the sunrises after. This confrontation was not just between a clan of ancient humans and a pod of orcas. It was a clash between two rising intelligences on a planet that was perhaps not big enough for both. It is in these moments of tragic, costly victory that the human spirit is forged, hammered into shape on the anvil of necessity and loss. Their sacrifice poses a question that echoes through our own complex world. What vital knowledge do we risk losing with each elder who passes? And when forced to choose, what price are we willing to pay for the mere chance to continue? As you reflect on this, you become a keeper of their memory. If you wish to acknowledge the weight of their sacrifice, comment with the sea keeps its own to join the circle of chroniclers. The ocean remembers everything, and forgives nothing. Do we still hear the warnings in the waves?